morning. He writes in part, real estate developers more than 30 years ago were entitled to massive write-offs and depreciation, which would, if one was actively building, show losses and tax losses in almost all cases. He goes on to say, you always wanted to show losses for tax purposes and often to renegotiate with banks. It was sport. What do you make of that defense?
Well, first of all, he's basically acknowledging and bragging about the fact that real estate guys have this set of loopholes that allow them to play by a different set of rules. And it gets back to the broader point about how Americans believe that some wealthy people, real estate guys, again, at the top of the list, play by a different set of rules than the rest of Americans. But secondly, the magnitude of the losses and the way some of them are categorized in the reporting by the New York Times in terms of which line they appear in your tax returns, there's absolutely no question that he lost a massive amount of real money, some of it his, a lot of it belonging to other investors. But when you have an Eastern Shuttle that completely fails, when you have a Plaza Hotel that you lose money on, when you have casinos that go bankrupt, you lose your own money.
And Steve,
no question about
his
that.
defense, you're right, he acknowledges that he was using all these loopholes, but his defense seemed to be everybody was doing it back then. Is that fair to say?
I think it's fair to say everybody's still doing it today to the extent it's legal. And there are, as I said, more legal loopholes for real estate folks than for any other group of income earners I'm aware of. The question, which we can't answer based on what we know, is what Donald Trump was he on the wrong side of legal or on the right side of legal? As I said, with respect to state taxes, we know he was on the wrong side of legal. With respect to the foundation, we know he was on the wrong side of legal. Any other American would have been under severe examination by the IRS for these practices. There's no question about that.
And I think it's fascinating. The reporting is really excellent. Steve just gave us the full tax expert breakdown. Yeah. And one of the lines that jumped out to me was when the New York Times says that over the period they have, and this is extensive material they have, he lost more than any other high net individual they could find in the country.
My God.